Hello everyone, I'm Stephen Patton and joining us today is Brittany Rando, who is here to give us tips on how to save money and food at the home. Thanks for being here.
Hi Stephen, thank you for having me. So food waste in the home is a big problem in this day and age. Food is wasted on farms, boats, and in restaurants, but a majority of food waste happens in the home.
So Brittany, how much food is wasted every year?
Well, 40 to 50% of food waste takes place in the home. For an average family of 4, food waste accounts for 1,160 pounds of food each year. That equals between $1,300 and $2,300 per year per family.
Wow, it's a lot of waste. Are there foods that are wasted more often than others?
Yes, 33% of food waste is seafood, 28% is fruits and vegetables, 17% is dairy, and 12% of food waste is meat.
So what kind of recommendations do you have to try to reduce food waste?
Well, the biggest thing for families is awareness. If they're paying attention to what they're throwing away, they're less likely to waste as much food. Also, some people directly weigh the food they're throwing away and figure it out that way. Paying attention to expiration dates can also help reduce food waste in the home.
So do you have an idea of how much food is wasted due to overdue expiration dates?
Yes, about 2/3 of all food waste is due to foods not being eaten before they go bad. This happens especially with condiments or other partially used foods that you don't use every day. This can result from lack of visibility in the fridge or the cabinet where you're storing your foods. It also can be because of improper storage of foods.
Now, can you speak to the problem of buying in bulk? Does this have an effect on food waste?
Yes, absolutely. Sales and promotions can get people in trouble. They buy too much food and then they can't keep track of the expiration dates. So even though it may seem like they're saving money, in the end they may be wasting just the same amount of money. It's also important to make a shopping list each week so you're only buying the foods that you'll need.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick break right here, but we'll be right back. And we're back with Brittany Rando. So I hear you have 3 tips on how to limit food spoilage.
Yes, number 1 is to plan out your meals every day and only buy those foods. Number 2, go to the grocery store more often and do not buy in bulk. Lastly, store your foods properly so they don't go as bad as quickly.
So how would you suggest people store food properly at home?
So for your dairy products, you want to store them in the same containers that they come in. Don't change the containers. Also buy plastic containers instead of cardboard because cardboard tends to grow bacteria. For your fruits and vegetables, store them in unsealed plastic containers so they don't completely dry out. Also, don't wash them before you refrigerate them because this can also cause bacteria to grow. Lastly, for any leftovers, store them in airtight and leak-proof containers and make sure they are stored within 2 hours of being cooked.
All great tips. So understand that not only will you save food and money, we can also help save the environment.
Yes, in the United States, only 3% of food is composted. Uneaten food makes up the biggest portion of that.
Interesting. So how do you compost? Why should you compost?
Well, when food is not composted, it's taken to landfills and is broken down into methane. Methane is a greenhouse gas that is 25 times as powerful as carbon dioxide. This also wastes a lot of energy. Food losses in the home are responsible for 8 times the energy amount used to produce foods on farms. Hundreds of millions of pounds of pesticides are released into the environment each year.
Interesting. So I see you brought some examples. What can you tell us about this?
Anything edible is compostable. This means your fruits and vegetables, bread, fish, and meats. Also, some non-edible things that are compostable are eggshells and meat bones. Some examples of non-compostable items are plastic, styrofoam, and wax paper. Composting in the home is a way to help the environment and save money. Also, if families don't have the resources to compost in their home, they can save up their compostable items and take them to their local compost center in their neighborhood.
A lot of useful information today. Thank you.
Yes, I've gone over a lot of information, so let's recap. Remember, 2/3 of all food waste happens inside the home. Avoid food waste by planning ahead your meals, not buying in bulk, and by storing your foods properly. Composting is also a way to make sure your food doesn't go to waste. Through your awareness of food waste, proper storage, and composting, we're on the way to decreasing food waste and making the environment a better place.
Interesting. Thank you for being here today. We'll be right back.